Hello and welcome to Matchday Live here on LUTV, and a very happy new year from everybody here at Leeds United. The Whites taking on Blackburn Rovers this afternoon, looking to make it 10 home wins on the spin and secure the place at the top of the championship table. You can watch this game outside the UK and Ireland. You can head to the website at LUTV to get your match pass now. Joining me in the studio is a formidable front duo of Jermaine Beckford and Michael Bridges. Are we feeling delicate today, chaps? Are okay?
No, all good, mate. All good.
Very good.
In bed at 10:30, mate. Professional.
Yeah, PJ's on. Happy New Year to you. Great to see you, TK.
Thank you very much.
This feels very strange.
It does feel very strange,
but very good.
Little throwback. New Year's resolutions first and foremost. Come on, everyone wants to know. Have you got any?
New Year's resolutions, I always find a bit bizarre because you start off with the best of intentions from the 1st of January, and usually by about midway through January, back end of Jan, you tend to filter off and go down a different path. So I don't like to set resolutions. I just get up and do
Obviously,
what I need to do.
not have chocolate cake because you came in the biggest plateful ever I've just seen before.
That's about 14 hours.
Mine is, I didn't have one. I was like Bex, I didn't want to do one, but when my wife saw me get out of the bed this morning and undressed to come down here, she went, "Can you start a resolution?" And she's called it the ABC. Got to get rid of the alcohol, got to get rid of the bread, and stop having chocolate. So you're going to see a new streamlined Bridgie in about a month.
So what I would say is don't get rid of it, just cut it down. Because when you cut it out completely, then you end up going back and
I hope
binging.
she's watching. Tell her.
Let's just get deep. I feel like I'm on this morning.
Sorry, let's go.
Well, my New Year's resolution was to get back on LUTV, so I've achieved that. Hey! So we're all done and dusted. Look, it was a great Christmas period for the team. We know we've got a tough match this afternoon against the Blackburn Rovers side. Trying to get into the playoff places and promotion this season. But just your overall assessment of how things have gone over Christmas, Bridgie.
Just absolutely superb. I mean, the home form this season, we know how good it is at Elland Road. The fans have played their part, the players have played their part. We've been sensational. There was that question mark going into the next two away games against Stoke and Derby. Could we go and do that over the Christmas period into the New Year and get maximum points? Well, we did. And it's absolutely brilliant because, the goals that we conceded early, we've shut that out. The players that we've been able to rotate. And I just think to finish top going into the New Year is absolutely brilliant. The way the lads have performed, but continue the trend of the home form has been special, but just to get that away form going once again, I think has been inspirational. And we start again in 2025. We've got to continue that trend, and we haven't got a lot of injuries. That is the big key factor for me.
And one of the things, touching on what Bridgie said there about the rotation of the squad, is the players that are coming in, Ramazani, Nonto, Brendan Aronson even, who's been phenomenal this season. All of those players, when they get taken out, when they have the opportunity to come back into the team, whether it's off the bench or they get a fortunate start the next game, you can see where the drive comes from, the hunger comes from, because they don't want to be left on the bench, do they? We're seeing the best of them, but we're seeing it on a consistent basis, and that's where we're seeing the positive results.
I think that comes with a healthy culture here with the lads, because I call it healthy competitive attitude. I've been in clubs, Jermaine, as you have, where there's had a couple of lads that are on the outer that aren't starting, they're waiting for the opportunity, but they're down tools in the spit. I call it spitting your dummy out. I don't see it with this group of players.
No.
Everybody's fighting for the spot.
But they know what's at stake.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, they're all desperate to get in close in the starting lineup for every single game. 4 changes to the Leeds United team today. So into the side come Manor Solomon, Rothwell, James and Piru. Out go Nonto, Ampadu, Ramazani and Joseph. So some more rotation in the starting lineup, but it's an incredibly strong side, isn't it? And do you think this was probably in Daniel Farke's plans at the start of this busy period, Bridgie, to rotate the squad? Do you think he'd have had an idea of all these starting 11s, or has form, as what happened maybe against Derby?
I think that's why you see such a big entourage of staff as well. Everybody plays their part. They're monitoring what the players are doing off the field. They're monitoring the training loads, the workloads. And I think I looked at Ampadu being out today. Obviously, he's on the front of the programme. He's a massive player, club captain. To make that call to take him out, he's been injured for a substantial period of time. He's come back in. He's looked like he hasn't been away.
Yeah, he does.
But we don't know what's going on in that dressing room. Might be you don't want to lose another player. I've been injured a lot, and when you get that run of form back again, you don't want to break down. So I think it's a bit of protection there. Yes. And like you say, with Rothwell coming in,
it's almost like for like.
In different ways.
In different ways.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and up front, Piru getting the nod. Obviously, Mateo had his chance against Derby. There is rotation there in that striking position, but no striker wants to be left out of the starting lineup.
No striker ever wants to be left out. But again, what we're seeing with those boys especially is as Bridgie touched on, the healthy competition. We know that if Joel Peru starts, we're going to see a very good version of Matteo. But at the same time, look, Matteo started the last game. He didn't have his best game. He was very good at certain elements of his game, but he needs to work on the finishing elements, the finishing aspects. We know he can score goals. It's just about building his confidence in the first team. But Joel Peru, when he comes on, it's like
scores goals.
He's special. He's such a special finisher. He's so I don't know what the word is.
Still say he's the best finisher at this football club.
Absolutely.
Because he has,
without a shadow of a doubt,
every style of finish available to him. He makes it look so easy and effortless. He doesn't just always go for the smash. Yeah, he's got the dink. He's got the composure. And I think Mateo Joseph can learn a lot from training, playing alongside Peru, to take a leaf out of his book about when you get in that moment, take a breath, relax, and get yourself ready.
Yeah,
because they've all got their own attributes in different ways.
Yeah, 5 or 6 assists for Joel Peru this season. We'll analyse his assist against Derby, of course, just a couple of days ago. But the games are coming thick and fast as Leeds return to Elland Road this afternoon. Stadium filling up very nicely. Before we get into the last game against Derby, let's just hear from Sam Byram, a player in the starting lineup today.
Well, Sam, Happy New Year. Good place to start the year is here at Elland Road in front of a full house, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We're excited to be back at home after a couple of trips on the road. So yeah, it's nice to be back for the new year.
You racked up your 200th appearance in the last one, so you move into a new century. It's going pretty well, genuinely at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't actually sure that it was 200 until after the game. So yeah, it's a nice one to tick off, and hopefully the start of many more.
The aim, though, is clear in this second half of the season, isn't it? Just to keep the run going?
Yeah, we've had a very difficult sort of congested fixture list so far. We're coming to the back end of it now, so we want to keep our good run going and start the year with a win at home.
And you played these a couple of weeks ago and they came out on top. Does that add a little spice to this one, perhaps?
Yeah, it's always when a team gets the better of you, you want to get one back on them. But for us, it's just go back to the basics and focus on trying to get a win today.
Yeah, Sam Byram giving us his thoughts. As Bryn mentioned there, 200 appearances for Leeds United over a very long period of time, of course. But it is special to reach that milestone, isn't it, here?
I've not reached it yet.
That's
you never will.
So cheers for that, mate.
But you remember when he came, Sam, there was a lot of speculation. I remember chatting to a few of the fans. What do you think about, Sam, injury prone, and you think, yeah, fair enough, it has, but what he's done to look after himself, the way he's handled himself, the way he's been called upon and relied upon in different positions, but he's always produced, and he's produced some goals, and he's a lovely lad. We know we give him stick. We say he's Daniel Farker, the teacher's pet. The lads jib him, but man, he'd be my teacher's pet if I knew I could rely on him when he was needed to perform.
Yeah, I think a few of the lads were joking that he was celebrating Christmas with Daniel Farker, who was around at his house on Christmas Day. But it's a great achievement for Sam Byram in the starting lineup today. Let's just look back at the last game then, the victory against Derby just a couple of days ago, and there was a lot of talk before this Christmas period about the away form, chaps. That maybe that was a problem. But back-to-back away wins suddenly shoots us up the sort of away league table. And we've put in 2 really competent performances away from home. But this was a thoroughly deserved victory in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And do you know what? The only disappointing part of this game for me was that it only finished 1-0. There were so many more opportunities where if we'd been a little bit more clinical, focus a little bit more time and attention on it, we could have run away 3, 4, 5s, and this is just me being picky now. I'm a forward. I love seeing goals. I love seeing strikers getting on the end of things. And the last 2 chances we've seen in these clips are Mateo Joseph causing absolute carnage. And all it is just a little bit of redirection, a little bit more composure, get in front of the defender on that aspect. And we'll be there.
I like the way we're creating this amount of chances as a coach and staff.
Yeah.
You'll be delighted. At the end of the day, the staff can't put the ball in the back of the net, but you're there to do repetitions of drills to go through the process. And this game on another day, like you say, could have been a lot more goals. What I respect and I love about the way we went about our business, we made the changes of players that we've talked about that got the goals in the end and had an impact to change the game. And Derby were struggling. They weren't bad at all. They defended in their numbers. Set plays, they've been renowned this season. That's what they're all about. The set play goals that they've been able to create. They nearly scored one. And I thought it was going to be one of them games. It's all us on the attack. It's all our stats possession. They're going to get an opportunity and they're going to capitalise. And it's going to cost us. Thankfully, this is the new Leeds. This is one that keeps you on the edge of your seat right till the end, and we found a way. And I just thought it was magic how everybody played their part, and it was the subs that changed the game.
Yeah, well, and Brendan Aronson, of course, scored the winning goal, the only goal of the game, which we're going to look at in a lot more detail when we see it for the first time shortly. But he's causing a lot of problems. Do you feel like he's growing? Is it confidence? Is it the knowledge, kind of the run of games? What is it about Brendan that is impressing at the moment? He seems to be getting stronger every game.
Do you know what it is, right? He's put all of the attention off the field to one side, and the one thing that you can control as a football player is what goes on the pitch with your personal performance. And he has grafted his absolute socks off every single game, non-stop, consistently. And look, we've seen a couple of moments there where he's been in front of goal and he should have scored. He should have come away with 2 goals, I think, minimum in that game. However, he's getting himself in those areas, creating lots of chances for other players. He's putting a lot of pressure on defenders, especially because of his movement, because of how sharp he is off the mark. He's not a quick player, don't get me wrong, but because of his low centre of gravity, similar to Solomon, he's able to change direction relatively quickly, which gives him that chance to get a shot off or a pass off. It's just that final pass, the final shot, the final cross that needs a little bit more attention. Apart from that, what a player he's turning into.
Well, he was cool and calm with the winning goal and the way he took this one. Guys, you've got to analyse this for us, because we all love a Tony Yeboah 40-yard volley, but there's something magical about this, isn't it? This was a long period of sustained pressure, a passing move, and it's just a joy to watch.
It's a team goal, because what you've got to do, you've got to shuffle the back five. That, you know, where they're dropping into this shape, there's numbers behind the ball. We keep possession, you shift the ball from left to right, you're looking for opportunities, but it's all about being patient and you're waiting for that moment. And I remember I used to love watching Argentina years ago when they would just suffocate teams with possession in this area of the field in the final third. And then when you recognise the moment to do something, it's having that instinct. And this is the move here. When it goes in, open up play, it's the third man run of Aronson that Joel Peru and Solomon find. And Aronson, you've talked about that, with that turn of pace. He affected that move incredibly well. Just keep an eye on where he is, where he's drifting here. So as that ball goes into Solomon, the third man run here, and the deft touch from Joel Peru is absolutely sensational. That's one of the team goals of the season, by the way, when you're looking at it from a coaching aspect. Like you say, the Yeboah goals and the volleys that we all love, this is a special goal. And that was obviously, with the way Derby defended, I saw the body language of their players. They were gone, they were done. That goal was special.
How much of that, Bex, is worked on, and how much of it is on the pitch, in the moment, sort of seeing the opportunity?
So there's different elements to that question, right? So you're taught third man run. So Brendan Aronson in that instance is the third man, and he makes a direct run. His run is almost a straight line from his starting position directly through to the goal. The pass from Solomon into Joel Peru through ball through the 2 defenders. Those are the 3 players. So it's you practice those parts. You practice player A passes to player B through ball to player C. In matches, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be an ideal situation.
Well,
it's about
the mannequins don't move.
The mannequins don't move, yeah, unless you run into them. I've seen that happen. But you analyse the game as it happens. So defenders, you try and pull defenders away, and that's where other external players come into it. So you'll have one of the forward players dropping in a little bit deep to try and pull a defender out to create a little bit of space in behind. Midfield players will underlap, so go around the outside of one of the fullbacks or centre half, for example. And you're just trying to do what you can to pull defensive players out of position. Once you're able to pull one player out, that's where the third man, Brendan Aronson, makes the break through the middle.
He recognised the moment.
Recognise the moment. But it's the weight of pass from Solomon first into Peru, the one-touch set, breaking the lines for the defenders. First touch from Brendan Aronson, and the finish was just perfect.
It was a beauty. Wonderful goal to win the game against Derby. But the challenge this afternoon is Blackburn Rovers. Let's head back down to the tunnel here at Elland Road then and join up with our commentary team with Tony Dorigo and Bryn Law.
Happy New Year, gang. Quiet night for all, I'm quite sure. Certainly was for me, because there's a big game to cover today. Blackburn Rovers here back at Elland Road. Team news first. Tony's quite a bit to talk about. I think we're using the phrase rotation again here, aren't we?
Yes, and another 4. So James comes back in, Solomon as well, Peru up top, and Rothwell comes into that midfield area. So I think it just shows the strength of depth that we've got. You look at those players coming back in. Is it stronger? Is it weaker? I can't tell. So the quality we've got throughout the squad is being used in this holiday period.
Does it require a different sort of setup, perhaps, for a home game as well as from an away game?
I think you're still trying to do the same thing in that you're trying to control things. You're trying to make sure that you dictate play. Concentration levels are going to be key. Certainly at home, more so for the defenders and midfield, not to overcommit. But of course, when you take those chances, or when they come, make sure you take them. So no, I don't think there's any sort of change home or away.
As ever, the interest with these games is what the opposition comes to try and do here. What do you anticipate from Blackburn today?
I anticipate exactly what we have seen before last season here. 1-0. We got caught on the break. Schmodic scored. They had 2 shots on target or something like that. Last game, of course, at their place at Ewood Park, we saw there that once they got their noses in front, they went defensive and just hung on and defended actually quite well. What you do know about a John Eustace side is that they'll work extremely hard. They may not have the technical ability that we've got, but they're going to work their socks off. So we need to match that and then show how good we are.
That recent meeting between the two teams, that's the last defeat for Leeds United. That will probably rankle a bit with the group, won't it?
Yes, absolutely. We owe them one. Yeah. And since then, they've been up and down. They had a poor loss, didn't they, last game out as well. They've got a few injuries. So coming to Elland Road, I'm not sure they're going to be really excited by that, but they better be ready because I think we're really ready.
Yeah, it'd be a great way to start a new year, to keep the run going. That's the aim, isn't it?
It is. 9 straight wins is incredible. We know at some point that will change, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think there's confidence in the squad, there's confidence in the team. The manager is smiling but saying all the right things to keep everyone steady. So today is just all about winning this game.
That's it. That's the message. It's all about winning this game.
Yeah, cheers guys. A few points that Tony mentions there. One of them is that home and away form, which has been talked about so often in the build, as I said, to that festive period. But it is something that feels it's probably off their backs now, isn't it, Bridgie? Like, two wins, back-to-back wins away from home. They shouldn't really, in theory, have been any difference, but it was a talking point that hopefully has gone.
Totally, and I used to love that comment. Can you really go and win on a cold, can you perform and turn up with the foreign lads on a cold night, on a Tuesday night at Stoke when the wind's blowing through? Well, we did, and it was a foggy night as well. So we've done that, then we've gone to Derby. I think the form wasn't the issue for me, it was the goals conceded away from home early in games where we're playing catch-up, having to get yourselves in. So them 2 games, for conference-wise, knowing that you've got the result going into the new year, that would have done absolute wonders. Plus the home win before that. So that's 9 points out of them games. Must back it up going into 2025. And they've alluded to it there. It's going to be tough. Not an easy team. We'll talk about them in a bit. But the away form, them last 2 matches, big ticks.
In contrast as well, the home form, because you both played in teams here that went on unbelievable runs at Elland Road. It was a fortress for the side you played in. What is that feeling like, Bex, when you come in here as a player? You've just won the last 9 in a row.
Don't get too emotional.
Well, here we go, let's reminisce. Let's turn it into therapy.
Do you know what? It's amazing because you turn up and you just believe. Yeah. You just believe that you're going to win. Like, there's no shadow of a doubt in your minds because it feels like it's a fortress. It feels like no other team are going to have a chance against you. The football may not always be the most beautiful football in the world, but you've got the fans on side, and when you hear the roar of the fans, that sends you, that gives you that extra 5% adrenaline boost that you might need, and it takes a little bit of energy away from the opposition players as well, because they're like, whoa, this is quite intimidating.
Sometimes you could see it in the opposition's eyes in the tunnel in the build-up of the game.
If they fancy it or not.
Yeah, you always felt, I've never been an arrogant and egotistical person. What Jimmy's talking about there, when you're on a run of form.
I was.
You don't mind me admitting
my
that.
alter ego.
But I was in that tunnel when we were on such a rich vein of form and you want a good run, and plus if you want a goal scoring run, you would stand that tunnel, you'd look across and kind of give it a little bit of arrogance going, we've got this today.
Yeah.
That's that kind of feeling, and that's what these lads are going to have at this moment, because they're obviously surfing on the crest of a wave, and we need to continue because we know this championship.
Yeah.
What happened last season, we've got to make sure we finish it off this year.
But again, last season our home form, again we're talking about home form, was the best in the league, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just piggybacking off of that.
Yeah, and interesting as well, but the effect it has on Blackburn Rovers. You mentioned that. I mean, Blackburn been a little bit of a bogey side for us. Beaten us last month.
Won the last 2, innit?
Won the game here at Elland Road last season, but since that game they've been on a bit of a stickier run. Scoring goals is a bit of a problem for them. They know that this is a huge side. If they get anything today, it's a huge result for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's huge. And do you know what? I was having a brief look at their goal scoring stats. Now, out of the teams in the top 12 of the league, they've scored the fewest out of the teams in the top 12, and that just falls perfectly in line with what you're saying there. Scoring goals is proving to be a bit of an issue for them. Defensively, they're pretty good though.
10 clean sheets. We've had 14 clean sheets, so that's they're that kind of team where you don't know quite what you're going to get. If they're not conceding, they're not going to score many goals. I think that's why we've got to capitalise. And I look at their starting lineup today. Gay's out, that the main leading marksman. Cantwell, not to be seen. That's a massive bonus for us. The assist, so he's not even in the squad. And then I think they've taken out Doobie as well, who's on the bench. So there's three of their, I was looking at the stats, their assists and their goal scorers, they're out. So it's all about the mindset and the focus of the Leeds team today to get the job done, and I think this could be a nice convincing win.
I think it's a bad time for their gaffer to rest those three players if they're trying to get anything from this game. Okay,
we'll get some final predictions from the guys in just a moment, but as you know, over the festive period on Matchday Live, we've been challenging members of the Leeds United squad to design their very own Christmas cards. We saw Bex's effort in the game against Derby.
That wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. It took 2 hours. You might be glad to know this is the last of these, and today it's the turn of Ilya Gruev.
Joe Matteo scoring the winner at Elland Road in the snow. Okay. The pitch. Then of course the fans, some blue shirts, some yellow. It's a corner from Joe to Matteo. Good cross, first post, Matteo scores. Everybody's running to the corner. Big celebration, everybody is celebrating. Lying on the ground, you can't see the players, who is who. 2-1, 90 minutes. It's not the picture, it's a story. Joe Rothwell crossing from a corner to Matteo, scoring a header, 90 minutes, 2-1, everybody celebrating in the corner in the snow.
Well, there we go, Ilya Gruev rounding off our festive feature with this. I hope Daniel Farke doesn't see this though, because it's quite a tactical plan here. He's done this as the Rothwell set piece, Matteo Joseph from the corner.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Can I borrow that?
You can.
I'm going to work that out. I might take this for my coaching manual.
We'll see if that comes out.
Outstanding effort.
So Rothwell corner into Matteo Joseph. Maybe if he comes off the bench, we shall see. Look, the teams will be gathering in the tunnel very, very shortly, gents. So final predictions today. We've kind of given a bit of an insight into Blackburn Rovers. You know, tight at the back. We're incredibly strong defensively. Where's the game going to be, won or lost, Bex?
For me, it's going to be won or lost in the transition moments. When Blackburn are on the attack, how well we get players behind the ball, win the ball back, and what we do with the ball immediately after that. I think with our wide players playing high and wide, and Joel Peru being as ruthless as he is in front of goal, that's where I think the game's going to be won. And I'm going to throw out a 3-1 win for us.
Okay.
Great analysis.
Thank you very much.
It's almost like you've read my mind. Transition moments, and I'm going 3-0. I'm saying clean sheet.
Okay.
All right, 3-0 as well.
Okay.
No, you go for your 3-1.
Confidence and a clean sheet from the guys in the studio. Let's hope that comes true over the course of the next couple of hours then, as Leeds United look to kick off 2025 with a victory at Elland Road. The stage is set. The fans are in. The sun is shining as well on the top there of the east stand lower, and the teams are about to enter the stadium. So let's head over to our commentary team of Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year, everybody. Here we are, 2025. Where else would you want to be for the first day of a new year? But a packed Elland Road with the sun shining as well, by the way. Hasn't been the case throughout the course of today, but now we have blue skies overhead and we have a huge game ahead with Leeds United looking to extend the winning run here in front of the home supporters, but also to extend the winning run that has been established over this festive period. So as the fanfare sounds, it's a Leeds United side that will come out to a huge roar and to the knowledge that there's an opportunity to just extend the lead at the top of the table with this game.